today's modern Premier League. And let's discuss your top 10 players in the league right now. Geordie, you went first last time. So, Dicko, do you want to start us off with your number 10?
So, I've done this kind of informed, kind of not.
Well, hold on. What's the question?
Current
Is the
PL
question
players.
informed?
Okay. Yeah, current PL players. Let's do it. Number 10, I've gone with Odegaard.
Oh, we're going from the back up.
Yeah, of course we are.
Oh, okay. João Pedro.
Really? João Pedro?
5
Right
goals,
now.
5 assists.
I
Right now.
would not put
João Pedro.
João Pedro has been...
the 10th best player in the league. Like, if you had to pick a squad, you're putting João Pedro in.
I thought we were doing in form. Like, recently
he's not even in form.
He's
Yes,
not even
he
in
is.
form. 5 goals.
And 5 assists.
Yeah, but how many of those are penalties? He's a pen taker.
Yeah, but he's not been starting. He hasn't paid.
He's not even starting, and you're putting him...
That's why I think he's decent. He comes off the bench, he scores and gets fucking assists.
No. Joel, who's your number 10?
Not João Pedro.
Yeah, thank God for that, Joel. At least we've got someone smart. That is absolutely unreal.
I think there's pretty much anyone in Bournemouth's team, Liverpool's team. These guys are 100%.
There's no Bournemouth players in this, by the way.
Are they not?
No,
You should
not
have been.
at the moment.
I
Top
think
10.
Even as a Saints fan, I can admit Bournemouth have been.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, but I can't put them in top. If I had to pick 11, no.
All right, I'll swap
number 10, Odegaard. I've gone for anyway.
And I'll put Kirkes then.
Oh God, mate! Are we taking the piss here?
Are you talking about actually the 10 best players, like
I'm not
value or in form?
No, really, is in. If I had to pick the 10 best players for ability-wise, this is who I'm picking.
Oh, okay.
What? Well, I've completely gone for a different thing here. We said in form.
I haven't done
Even
it
so, João Pedro.
João Pedro is an awful shout. Number 10, Odegaard.
Okay.
Are we happy to put him in our 10?
Right
okay. What are we doing? In form.
I've just done who I'd so for me, e.g. Rodri is in my team. In mine.
Oh,
Rodri.
So
I
can't do that. He's injured.
Now.
Yeah, but
right now.
Current PL players, you'd play him.
No, right now. Do right now because you can think of this off your dome.
No,
10 players that are playing well right now.
Definitely not Rodri.
The fuck is Rodri going to be interesting for?
Rodri be way higher as well. Do you know what I mean?
I've got Rodri second.
No, okay. Well, yeah, okay, fair enough. But I think we were going to do 10 best players in
Fuck
the league
me,
right
João
now.
Pedro.
So we're saying top 10 players this season, aren't
Yeah,
we?
so you can just list Bournemouth.
Why is Rodri in there then? He's been injured. He hasn't played a minute.
See, but current PL players, I'd say Rodri.
But this season?
Yeah, I didn't realise we're doing this season. I'm saying current PL players that are in the league. Where would I rank them?
Right. No,
if they were not injured
this season,
this is what I'm doing. I'm not doing this season. I didn't do this season.
Do this
I
season.
can change it. But I'm still putting Odegaard in number 10. Do it from 10 then. Do your number 9. Who's your number 9th? Because João Pedro ain't.
All right, well, number 9 is Pickford.
It could be. I don't know where.
I don't
know who else is on these lists.
Alisson, number 9, I put in.
Do you think?
Yeah,
Alisson. Yeah, he against Bournemouth the other day, he saved everything.
Although wasn't he injured at the start of the season? Didn't he barely play?
Yeah,
played.
He did actually.
You can't tell me that you would pick Alisson.
Also
but in form, Pickford has literally saved Everton.
I'm going to Alisson just
Also,
because
Moyes,
I think he's the best keeper in the world.
All right, in form. Let's stick to that.
I think
Alisson.
I'm going to go with Geordie on that one. We'll go for Pickford.
8.
But we can change this at the end. We'll debate this.
Yeah,
there might be some people moving. Number 8.
I've gone Morgan Gibbs-White here.
It's a good shout.
Yep.
Disappointed me and my Aka against Exeter. However, in the league and recently, he has been incredible.
8.
Magical player, I can't lie.
He is a good player. Nottingham Forest are flying this season.
They are.
There's quite a
I'm
lot
happy
of
with
players
him.
that you can pick there.
Right.
We'll keep Gibbs-White in.
Is
there anyone else we can go for?
Saliba.
Number 7.
Saliba, I would have maybe put an 8th. But
maybe he should go in at 10 instead of Odegaard.
Yeah.
Because Arsenal, let's be honest, they've not been.
I'd actually say Gabriel's had a
impressive.
better season than Saliba.
Gabriel has had a better
Actually,
season.
true. So do you reckon Gabriel over Saliba now?
Yeah, number 10.
He's unreal at scoring, isn't he, Gabriel, for a centre back?
Yeah, hasn't he scored 5 goals this year?
I think so, but they're unreal at set pieces, and he's the main
he is
threat from those. So I would, we'll stick Gabriel in at 10.
He's the target.
Pickford at 9, Gibbs-White at 8. Who's number 7?
Rodgers.
Yeah.
Morgan Rodgers, Villa.
Morgan Rodgers has probably been one of the most impressive players for Villa this season. I will give you that.
And it'll be really interesting to see how they do with the addition.
Is that
of
number
Rashford.
6?
That was number
7. That is.
That's number 7, is it?
Yeah.
So I think, it's going to be interesting to see you have in this top 6 because
Dicko, I think our top 5 are going to be pretty similar here.
No, number 6, Chris Wood.
Chris Wood at 6.
He's actually my number 4. But 6 for me was Mbeumo.
Oh.
Which pains me to say.
I do think both of those should be in this top 10, to be honest. The seasons they've both had.
Yes.
So who should we go for? Should we go for Mbeumo number 6?
Yeah, go on then.
I'd be happy with that. I think
Go
Chris
on
Wood
then.
can be
14
bumped
goals.
up a little bit.
Not bad.
I think our top 5 here are going to be the same players.
What players this? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know your 4th is Chris Wood.
Yeah. And
do
my
you want to
5th?
say your 5th and 4th? And then
Yeah,
you can say
my
your
5th and 4th is Cole Palmer 5th.
Okay.
And 4th is Chris Wood.
Okay.
Yeah, Cole Palmer 5th. I'm happy with.
Yeah.
Number 4. Who do we put in 6? Sorry.
Mbeumo.
Mbeumo. Yeah, number 4, Chris Wood then. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So the top 3, I mean, we know who's finishing number 1, I think, but who takes the other
Let's do
top
3
2
and 2.
spots, actually?
Number 3. Who's your number 3?
Anthony Robinson.
Anthony Robinson.
10 assists as a left back in Fulham's
He's not
team.
the third best player in the Premier League
Mate,
this
he's
season.
literally the best left back in Europe.
You could argue that Kirkus has been better than Robinson.
But you
mate.
can't, because where's his
I
assists?
can. Yeah, but
None.
Kirkus got. How many goals does
1.
Robinson get then?
You don't need to score as a left back, mate.
Yeah, well,
10
Kirkus had,
assists.
so you could use that. But you can't say he's the third best.
How many
player.
goals has Kirkus scored?
2.
Right. Doesn't
Bangers.
even compare to 10 assists.
How many assists has he got then?
And 10. And
No,
Anthony
no,
Robinson,
Kirkus.
like 1.
Oh, it's got to be more than that, isn't it?
Nah. You got like Clivert and Semenyo way up there, way before Kirkus. He might have 1 or 2 assists.
I think Robinson is
Kirkus got
leading
3.
the most assists for a defender by some.
I'm not putting
distance.
Robinson in my
Huge
top 3.
margin.
No, not putting my top 3 PL players this season though.
For me, I mean, can we
'Cause he
also
could arguably-
state the fact he plays for Fulham and has got 10 assists?
Yeah, but you could argue that he hasn't been the best left back.
We've got Raul Jimenez and Muniz trying to put the ball in the back of the net off of his sometimes suspectable crosses.
I mean, I do think Robinson probably does deserve a place in this 10. Whether number 3 is a fair position for
I'll put
him.
Gravenberch in.
Gravenberch is a good shout.
Number 3.
Number
He's ran
3,
that
fair.
Liverpool
Again, I
midfield.
don't think
He's not
number
in my
3.
top 10, but
I think this is going to be a questionable list.
I think
to be honest with
I
you.
think
He
putting
has
Robinson in 3rd is a fucking joke.
I think we're going to pencil it in. We're going to have to move.
Yeah, we're
going
gonna
to
have to move that about because Robinson getting him
you know he's the 3rd or 4th in assists in the Premier League at the
which
moment.
is impressive for a Fulham left back.
I can't put him top 3 players in the PL.
But I still think, there's going to be some players missing off this list. Shall we see who they are? Number 2.
Isaac. I don't think there's any debating 1 and 2.
I think
Salah
Alexander
and Isaac.
Isak is probably the 2nd best player in the Premier League right now.
Also-
Salah is definitely number 1. We can all agree on that. So let me just run through the list. Okay.
I think this is an awful list.
I think this is an awful list. I was hoping Dicko, you might have.
Yeah, well,
come prepared.
I didn't do the right list.
That's fair enough.
I didn't do
get
the right
memo.
list.
Didn't get the memo. It's all right.
Because I've got Haaland in my team as well.
I think Haaland
The fact we
definitely
can't put
deserves
Haaland
a
in.
place in the top 10.
17
I think,
goals.
Yeah, exactly. Even though he does it every season, I think.
You could put him 10th, couldn't you? Easily.
10th? I think he could
more.
be higher. I think
We
he could
put
be
Robinson in 3rd, so
higher. And Gravenberch. I think Chris Woods had a better season than Gravenberch and Chris Wood.
okay, that's fair.
But then Robinson. And Palmer as well. I know he's not hit the same heights as last season, but when he has, he's on
The thing is, he's also trying to
Cole
link
Palmer's on
things up
14
a little
goals.
bit more.
It's pretty impressive.
14 goals, and he's also got Sancho and Madueke, Madueke's on like 7 goals. Sancho's on 4 goals, 4 assists. Like, he's also threading the needle with those.
That's what I mean. He's making that Chelsea team tick.
Like, it's fully Cole
With
Palmer
Nicholas
FC.
Jackson up front. So
Yeah. Dodgy.
That's
right,
hard.
I'm going to read out the 10, and then
Yeah,
I'm going
it's
to
a
list
shocking
off
list.
some players that we probably should have in there. So
Alright.
10 is Gabriel, 9 Pickford, 8 Gibbs White, 7 Rogers, 6 Mbeumo, 5 Palmer, 4 Wood, 3 we've got Robinson / Gravenberch, and 2 Isak and Salah.
Yeah, this is
So
shit. That is
an
list.
awful list. I do have to agree with you there,
Yeah.
Dicko. I think
Horrible blokes.
Put Robinson down to like a lot more.
we're going to have to remake this.
I don't mind
list,
putting him
'cause-
10th, but
Let's-
to put him 3rd.
Sure. I mean, we need Haaland in there. Who else I think?
19
deserves a
goals
place?
Haaland is on.
Yeah.
And we put Robinson.
Robinson.
Excuse me, you didn't even mention Haaland
to be
in your
fair-
top 10. Don't come at me every time.
No, I did, but I did it previously. Also putting Cole Palmer below Robinson's a bit muggy. Putting Mbeumo below Robinson's a bit muggy.
It is.
Yeah, fair
but
enough.
Mbeumo has had a great season at
You
home,
need to really
especially.
forget. Even
He's
putting
rinsing teams.
Pickford in is a bit dodgy when Matt Sells exists as well. Nottingham Forest keeper
Yeah,
with
but
the
they're
most
just
clean
a solid
sheets.
defensive unit. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
and we haven't
bit
put
like
we
Bournemouth.
haven't put a single of the best PL defenders this season with the most clean sheets in this.
Yeah, but that's also because, again, as Joel's just pointed out, that's a unit. Pickford on his own has saved Everton multiple times this year.
I still put Matt Sells above him this year. You can't rule out the most clean sheets in the season.
You can because it's a whole back four.
Season's not over yet. Moyes is cooking.
Oh God.
Who else is another player that we think could?
Semenyo, Clivert,
Semenyo, Clivert.
Kirkers,
Interesting.
Zabani, Hoyson.
There's a
Lewis Cook.
there's a common theme between these
AYB.
players you're listing.
Well, I mean,
there,
I
Dickhead.
I didn't actually put any in there, although I didn't realize we were doing it in form. So
Yeah, I think
probably would
I
have
think your whole list probably
would have maybe put in
Yeah.
one of them.
If you could pick one Bournemouth player, who would it
Top.
be?
Kirkers probably.
Dean Hoyson, probably.
Hoyson
Oh,
has
actually,
been
yeah.
very, very
Dean Hoyson
impressive.
or Antonio Semenyo would be.
Semenyo.
I'd go with the Hoyson
I think
one.
they'd be
If
in
we're talking
our
about
top-
current form, Clivert surely has to be.
Yeah. If you were talking the last month,
Yeah.
obviously player of the month.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely put.
What about some other Newcastle players?
Isaac?
Gamirez.
Tonali.
Gamiresh.
Been great.
Tonali is quality, but I'd say Isaac is their main
Nah,
standout
Bruno
player.
Gamiresh is probably the other standout player for Newcastle at the moment.
Yeah. Cunha had a very good
Cunha,
spell.
yeah,
for
Yeah,
Wolves.
yeah, I did mention him. Yeah.
Yeah.
11 goals?
No,
I don't know.
think he's
11?
on more than that, isn't he?
I think he's on 11.
I'm gonna have to get my fantasy team.
Kuna's on 11, yeah.
Hmm.
I'm on 1%. But
Any other City players? You know.
they've been pretty poor this season.
They
To
have
be
been
fair,
pretty
I think
poor.
it's quite hard to put in any.
Rico Lewis could get an honourable mention considering he's had to just be thrown in there.
I think this season he hasn't been great.
I
don't
he
think he's been great this season.
is great at all. Having watched him, I feel like he makes mistakes a lot. But
I don't think you can.
How
put him
is he
anywhere
still
near.
like 18?
But like you
Yeah,
said,
he's
he's been
young.
thrown into a messy City team.
Like
But,
horrible thing to be in.
I know he might still become a good player, but from what I've seen, I don't
I wouldn't put any City players in apart
I-
from Haaland
agree.
for a season.
He's basically carried them to where
I
they
I mean,
are.
to be fair, they've had a lot of injuries as well, so they haven't really had a solid 11.
So, do we want to tweak this thing at all? Who has to leave this top 10 for sure? do
I
you
think we've just mucked it up.
I think we have.
I reckon we move on and let the
Yeah.
comments decide a little bit here, and our horrible takes can be publicly.
I think. Should we just
stoned.
try and redo our top 5?
Yeah, do the top 5.
Because
Yeah,
we've
I
got
mean,
so
yeah, top
Salah,
5.
Isak, non-negotiable. I think Chris Wood
Chris
has
Wood.
to be in at 3.
yeah.
And Buemo 4.
No,
Why 14 goals,
No.
like 4 assists?
Who do you
Cole
think?
Palmer 4.
Palmer 4.
Yeah,
Okay, well then
They've had the same
Mbuemo's
amount of
probably
goals.
Do you
5.
think? Do you think Abuemo's had a better season than
And then-
Haaland?
pardon?
Abuemo's had a better season.
Well,
than
yeah,
Haaland.
okay, but now it's relative because what are we talking? Are we talking in terms of year on year performance? Because Haaland is still performing at the same level, if not a little bit worse than previous, whereas Mbeumo is on his best record season. He is outperforming
And
himself
Buemo's playing for Brentford.
is
it's
tough.
by a
hard to argue.
mile.
But if you also remember at the start of the season,
think-
when City weren't terrible,
I think
Haaland
Mbeumo-
was cooking.
I think Mbeumo has had a better season personally.
We will go from Buemo then.
It's also more impressive for him as a winger
Poor
at the
Erling.
moment.
Where
Yeah.
have you put Mbeumo then?
So
Fifth.
Buemo 5th.
5th.
Palmer 4th. Chris Wood 3rd. Alexander Isak 2nd. And number 1, Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, it does seem like a bit typical and too easy,
Yeah.
that list, but we'll take
No, I
it.
think
It's
people
probably
argue
accurate.
that. I think people argue
We happy with that?
honestly. Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's going to argue with that.
I'd argue with it. So
All the João Pedro fans are going to be sending their...
João
I
Pedro.
thought that was a
Hatred.
good shout.
No.
5 goals, 5 assists.
He
That's
can't-
a-
no.
After the players we've listed, João Pedro... I don't think
You
João
put
Pedro
João
makes my top
Pedro
20.
above like putting him above
Yeah.
any Bournemouth or
Alright.
like Nottingham Forest players is unreal.
All right,
Some take.
moving on.
That might be the worst take.
That was
we've
worse than
Yeah,
Robinson.
that was
Yeah,
horrible.
Robinson-
That was-
had. Robinson at
Robinson
3rd
has
and
had a-
João Pedro 10th.
Yeah, Robinson has had a good season.
You're
But
getting
right.
slated.
Yeah.